Hey guys, it's Tucker and Janae with Adventures with Tuckney.
We are about to celebrate our second anniversary tomorrow, and it's also kind of our nomadiversary as well. We got married on March 30th, and then we went on our honeymoon in Scotland, and as soon as we got back, we moved into the RV and started traveling. We thought it would be fun to kind of tell you guys our story, share with you why we decided to live in an RV full time and travel, and just share some of our favorite places that we've been since we've been on the road for about 2 years now.
So before we got married, we were talking and trying to decide where we were going to live. And Janae is originally from Illinois and I'm originally from Texas, so we didn't really want to live at either state specifically. And she had this crazy idea one day to buy an RV. Didn't know if we wanted a fifth wheel, bumper pull, drivable, whatever. And
I just called him up one day. I'm like, I have a crazy idea. Just hear me out. And I was like, what do you think about living in an RV for just a year until we can find a place that we want to live? Because, like he said, we didn't know where we wanted to live, and we didn't want to just rent a place or buy a house somewhere where we didn't want to be long term. I was like, what do you think? And he's like, oh, okay. He wasn't exactly on board at first.
No, not 100%. That's for sure.
We started doing some more research and looking into it, and thankfully he was sweet enough to go along with my crazy idea.
Yeah. And thankfully, it worked.
It did. And here we are, 2 years, with no plans to stop in the near future anyways.
We decided that while we didn't have kids and while I had a job that allowed me to work remote, that we would travel and try to find where we wanted to settle down. And then here we are 2 years later. We still haven't found where we want to settle down.
No.
We're loving getting to travel.
We get asked that all the time, like, where are you guys going to settle down? And we still don't know after 2 years. We really loved Montana, but we just decided it's too far from family. We would have to fly, or 17 hours of driving.
Yeah, it's a long
to
drive.
Get to either of our families, and so we decided that's not going to work for us. So we're kind of back to square one right now. We've got several new states that we're going to be visiting this year, planning to at least. So maybe one of those will be the one. Who knows?
Never know.
I know a lot of people either have to travel for work, say they're, work on the windmills or the oil field, or,
traveling nurses.
Yeah. So there's people that have to travel for their work. We get to travel because our work allows us to work remotely. And I actually just shared a blog post last week about traveling remotely and jobs that people can have if they want to travel remotely. I'll go ahead and put that in the description box down below, so if you guys want to check that out, you can. But we decided, like he said, well, we don't have kids, we're young, we don't have a land or house, property, anything tying us down, so we're just going to travel while we can. In the last 2 years, we've been to 22 states and 12 national parks and 3 countries, I believe. Mm-hmm. So we've gotten to see
4 countries.
4 countries?
Mm-hmm. We've been to Canada, Scotland, Ireland,
and the United States.
That doesn't count.
A lot of people travel faster than we do. We like to spend several months in a state and really get to explore it.
State or area.
Right. We're hoping to get to see several new states this year as well. Obviously, Alaska and Hawaii would be wonderful, but they're probably not on the agenda for this year.
No.
Things are still a little bit crazy.
We hadn't built the bridge to Hawaii yet.
I'll get him there one day. What has been your favorite national park that we visited?
That's hard. I've got 4.
Okay, what are your 4?
My 4 are Arches in Moab, and then Bryce Canyon, in Utah, Yellowstone, and Glacier.
Not Rocky Mountain?
I really love Rocky Mountain, but we didn't spend enough time there.
Yeah. I think my favorites would be Glacier and Rocky Mountain and Arches. And Bryce. It's really hard to pick just one.
They're all so different. So
Yeah.
different terrain, different environments, really. I mean, Glacier National Park, you have these ice glaciers and mountains. And then you go down Yellowstone and you've got boiling water and sulfur and buffalo. And then you go down Bryce and you got the hoodoos. And
The hoodoos are really cool.
and you go to Moab and at Arches and you have sand and these arches that God made, and it's all just so unique and different that it's hard to pick one.
It really is. What about states? Do you have a favorite state?
Montana was probably one of my favorite states, just because of how
Yeah.
beautiful everything is up there.
Probably Montana, Colorado, and Utah. Those are probably our top 3 states so far.
We've gotten to do some pretty amazing activities in all the travels that we've done. We started with whitewater rafting up in Glacier National Park.
That was really cool.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd ever been whitewater rafting, and it was amazing.
Yeah. ATVing down in Utah.
Down at Kanab.
And canyoneering. That was really cool, like rappelling and going through the slot canyons.
Yeah, I'd been rappelling before in rock climbing, but it was all on rock walls in Boy Scouts. So doing the canyoneering through the canyons, the slot canyons there in Kanab was really a
really
unique
cool.
experience for us. And then the ATVing, we got to rent the Polaris Razors for my birthday, and that was a blast. Getting to
Yeah.
ride through all the sand and everything on Razors.
We've also got to go on some of the most beautiful hikes ever.
Rocky Mountain is probably one of the most memorable hikes we have. That
Mhm.
just was breathtaking. The views
Yep.
that are in Rocky Mountain National Park.
I would say Glacier too. Hiking up to
Yeah.
Avalanche Lake. I've got a blog post on that as well, and that was beautiful.
And then the hikes and Arches are amazing too. I mean, we did one in a slot canyon at in its Sandstone Arch,
Hmm.
and then what was the other one back there when we hiked on the snow? The real thin
Landscape
wall.
Arch.
Yeah, that was a really cool hike, and it was in the snow.
Yeah.
At least for us, not everybody.
Sometimes RV life can be over glamorized, I think, and people just talk about the good sides. So we also did want to say that the last 2 years have had their hard times as well.
Yeah, we've had blowouts on multiple occasions on our trailer. We haven't on the new trailer. We've got a good TPMS system from Lippert, and I put different tires on the trailer right out of the gate, and it's worked flawlessly. But the last trailer we had in our 385, we had the Salem tires and had a blowout on Labor Day of 2019, and that started a downhill
Yep.
slide from there with the tires.
We had quite a few blowouts after that. So we've had tire trouble, we've had water
Plumbing
lines.
issues. Yep. Water
freeze.
lines freeze, never burst, but freeze and have to thaw.
We've had black tank issues
Clogs.
recently.
Yeah, I got all that cleared up recently. Had a black tank cable. The cable to dump the black tank actually had been zip tied, and it pulled and rubbed the cable to where it eventually broke in half, and so I could open it but I couldn't close it, so I had to replace the cable, and I was not looking forward to that because I knew nothing about getting underneath there and taking all that apart. And now it's not a big deal. It's real easy to, once you know where it's all at, learn your trailer, where things go and how they operate. Yeah.
Things
learning.
are going to go wrong
Yeah.
living in an RV. I mean, your house is on wheels. It's moving all the time, and things are
gonna
just
rattle
going to break.
loose. And, we have, I was looking at our ceiling 2 days ago, and there's a spot in the ceiling that the ceiling sagged. Well, I got on the stepladder and looked up there, and it's just where some of the nails had come undone, rattled loose going down the road, and so I just had to finish nail it back up, and it's fixed.
We've also found ourselves in some treacherous situations on roads that we didn't research properly, and
Or been told wrong.
yeah,
We wound up doing Teton Pass at the Grand Tetons because I asked someone at an RV park, and oh no, you won't have any problems doing this.
it was like the scariest drive we've ever done. I was
I-
terrified the whole time.
What, 10% grades, or was it more than that?
I feel like it was like 12% grades. It was crazy,
If
and
anybody's ever driven
Ugh.
Teton Pass, they'll know what we're talking about.
it was very scary. So all this is just to say that RV life isn't always perfect, but
There are ups and downs.
the good times definitely outweigh the bad.
Yeah, because look at us. We get to go park wherever we want. Thanks to all the boondocking and BLM land and whatnot that you can find nowadays. We can wake up with a mountain in the front window one morning, and a week later you can be in the desert in Utah, for all you know. Or you can be sitting out in the woods. So it opens up a lot of different doors, that's for sure.
It does. We've had a blast, and we're excited to see where this next year is going to take us to.
Yep.
Moving on to year 2. If you guys have any questions for us or want to know any more specifics about our RV life, please drop those comments down below. And also feel free to follow us on our other social channels if you haven't already, especially on Instagram. That's where we show up pretty much daily, and you can get a glimpse of our everyday RV life as well.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope y'all have a good day.
Please like and subscribe to our channel.